Mark, what's going
Hey,
on?
Paul.
How are you?
Just enjoying vacation here on the island. The good
Nice.
one.
Wow, it looks remarkably like the. It's nice that you've decorated the island exactly like your home.
This isn't a real background.
It's that's right. You know why? Because if it's true, it might not be true. Just because it say it's true doesn't mean it's true,
This is
right?
Schrodinger's background.
Exactly. We're going to talk about the nature of truth in Absolute Batman. We're going to do that right after this. Before we get started, don't forget to make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell so alerted whenever we upload new content, and leave us a comment. Let us know how you're liking the Absolute universe. People seem to be liking it. We got everything. It is the Absolute Bat family this week going on. We got Absolute Batman number 22 and Absolute Catwoman number 2. Um, Scott Snyder made an interesting comment this past weekend. He said that he has basically planned out through issue 50, and that's going to be the end of the first. It doesn't mean that he's going to end the series, but that's going to be the end of the first major story arc all put together. So
So the Jack
the
Grimm
the
arc, pretty
Jack
much.
Grimm thing, exactly. Yeah, they tend to go through issue number 50. So, um, and he also mentioned that he very strongly hinted that Absolute Aquaman is on his way.
Was this
So,
all done on that live stream he did or something?
yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah. Al Ewing also said that he's got through issue 24. Doesn't
Hmm.
plan on stopping, but that's only like 2 issues out, I think. Like,
Well, they're on 16, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's a rumor that we might get a Greg Capullo cover on another Scott Snyder on
Yeah, I've seen
issue number
that.
25.
I've seen him sharing that little sketch he was working on.
Yeah.
Very
So,
appropriate.
yes, he doesn't think he'll be doing interiors anymore, but he's more than happy to do some absolute covers.
That's
And
what's
since
called
DC,
elevating their career.
and since DC will hopefully pay people, um, he's
See,
willing to
this is what
do.
Greg does. Move from interiors to only covers.
Mhm.
Then you set up your own website. Then you get a whatnot. Then you attack your audience, and you've made
Mhm.
it.
There you go.
It's called the Mayhew.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. You're doing the Mayhew.
Yeah,
All right, let's talk about Absolute Batman number
let's do it.
22.
The
Um,
Crooked House.
part 4 of the Straw Man, the Crooked House.
Wasn't
Um,
that like what was it? Not Prometheus. Yeah, Prometheus's house.
Prometheus was the guy who brought fire to Earth.
No, the DC Comics one.
Oh, sorry. Prometheus was like the villain Batman that
Yeah,
Grant
with all
Morrison
the
created.
tech and stuff, and
Yeah.
he had his Crooked House. It's
Oh, I
even
see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was
remember it.
his base of operations, the Crooked House. It was even in the one of the backup stories, or no,
Mhm.
the preview story for that Batman Lex Luthor one shot coming out. They go in the Crooked House.
Yes. Yes, the JLA night something night or
Yeah,
whatever. So they're the quarterly Justice League book that they're doing, and it's a different theme every quarter. So yes, with the Mark Spears cover with Lex and Batman on the cover.
yeah.
So this, although it's called the Straw Man, it's part of the Straw Man. It actually really is kind of very Harley Quinn focused
Yeah,
story.
and Robin. Pretty much everyone except the Straw Man. Now that I think about it,
Exactly. Um, and we go back to then. Does it actually say
as
then? I don't think it
always.
didn't
Yeah, we
say then,
start
but
with a little girl hiding in her room under her bed with her mom walking in, asking, "Where you at? Are you under the bed? Stop hiding under there. Everything's okay. There's no monster in your closet. Come on out of there. Here, I'll give you this gift. I give you this little magical mallet, and it can fight off the scary ghosts in the house." And the little girl says, "Ghosts aren't real." And she goes, "Well, they are if you want them to be. And this mallet is too. And it can stop the ghosts if you want it to." And kind of just reassuring her as her kisses on her head and walks out. And as soon as she does, it's like the closet door creaks just a little bit, enough to make you question, is there something in here? Is this little girl lying? Is she crazy? Is she imagining it? We're going to have to read to find out.
right, because even if it's not true, It's true. Um, but just as we get the thing of the thing coming out of the closet, we flash back to where we left off last issue, which is Batman in the middle of a fight with Harley trying to help him. Um,
Yeah, he's running from the Robins.
exactly. He's running from the Robins. She basically is saying, "You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this." Um, he keeps saying, "Shut up, shut up." Um, he basically he, he does some. She does something uh, to his receivers in his cowl that helps him kind of blasts some white noise or whatever at him. And she's like, how did you do that? And it's like, she's like, "Has this quiet enough for you?" As she blasts it, because she installed it in his cowl, and he says, "Fine, talk, but I'm not stopping." And she's like, "Suit yourself. We're packing up where I left off." And then we flash back again to Harley talking to her mother. Um, and her mother basically talking, saying, "Hey, you know what? I got to go to work. You think you can do everything on your own for tonight?" And she really wants him to stay. She pretended that she would write to her father, but she didn't really know who that was or anything. So she lived online a lot when she was young. Flashback again to the current and the fights with the Robins, and the fights with not just the Robins, but the police and all their riot gear and everything.
Um, yeah, the baseball bat cracking scene
Not yet, I haven't got that.
with Harley taking the jacket off.
Nope. I'm
Oh,
on
one
the
page before.
yeah, right. So she's still trying to reason with him. We get some of the Robins talking to each other. We see some of that. Say, uh, Batman saying, what are you saying to me? She says, let me ask you something. Why do you think the tin suit showed up as soon as we downed that squad the last time? And then they realize that the Robins are tracking the police. It's because the police can find Batman, because they had gone down into the sewers, and so that's where they were at that particular time. And so then she realizes that they need a way out of there.
Yeah, then we flash back again, right?
We do.
Okay, I'm on the right spot.
Okay.
So yeah, give you a little more context on her. She's growing up and learning about her mom and everything, and she decides to go exploring a little bit in the house.
Hmm. Yeah. Which
Then there's a lot of bouncing back now that I'm flipping through this to get caught up here.
there
Then we
is. There's
bounce
like
right back to
there's
modern times.
Yeah, there's like 3 pages or 4 pages of modern time. We flash back to Harley, so it's definitely you can get time whiplash if you're not careful in this issue. So we see Batman and Harley. Basically, they're kind of trapped, but
Trying-
they what's that?
Yeah,
They're kind of trapped. The Robins are outside, with the police still. They're flashing their lights and everything, trying to find them. Um, and so they start initiating this broad spectrum scanning. There's nowhere left to hide. Um, and then we start flashing back and forth between on the same page. We get some flashbacks of Harley on their computer, looking some things up while she's online. Then we flash back, get a couple of panels of Batman and Harley in the present. We flash back again. So um, we find Harley
young
find
Harley.
young Harley finds basically where what her mother was doing.
Yeah, she found a
And
little secret hatch in her closet, a
exactly.
little panel a little elevator that took her down into a lab underneath the house she lives in with monstrous experiments,
Hmm.
dead bodies. Looks like a dead calendar man being born out of another calendar man,
Hmm.
which is kind of gross.
When one year dies, another one starts. Right.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Hmm.
But yeah, and as she screams, a hand grabs her, and it's none other than like her mom in this twisted, weird state, almost looking like it's homaging a Harley Quinn with the color scheme. Can't tell what's going on with her face, but there's clearly blood splatter on her hat and everything. And it's revealed her mom is conducting these grotesque experiments, and she can't believe her eyes. And her mom tells her to chill. It's all going to be fine. Don't worry. This is normal. And Harley goes running out of there as fast as she can.
Yeah, she basically calls her mother. Her mother was Dr. Arkham, basically, and this was kind of an Arc M, um, and we then, as soon as that happens, again, we flash to where we are now. So we've seen all the trauma that's gone on with Harley to get her to where she is now. Um, but then we hear some more doings, rumblings with the Robins, talking about how exactly they want to go about this. And they basically decide that we're going to let him be for the rest of we're going to let him go for right now. They got other things that they have to deal with. So um, Jason Jason wants to give it up. Um, and some of the other ones decide that they want to go home, but they want to stay. So they basically decide that they're going to just wrap it up for the night, and they'll come back at Batman at a different time, which leaves Batman and Harley then to have even um, some more heart-to-heart discussions.
Yeah, they're kind of
Um,
discussing on like the effects of Jack Grimm on Batman, like him looking into the events of his existence with what he found out in that dossier that he got from Gordon. She's talking about what's real, what's not real with his life, how much Jack Grimm has potentially played in it. And he's not really trying to hear none of it. He's trying to just push on with the mission. And she's really trying to have this heart to heart talk with him while they're running for their lives from the police and the Robins in the sewers of all places. But when she wants to talk, it's time to talk. He's in a shell and she's opening up way too much. And she kind of gets mad at him for not listening and slaps him with his mallet, and they scuffle just for a brief second. He snatches them out and breaks it, and that kind of breaks her heart.
right. And she basically is telling him that Jack Grimm is just playing him right now. She basically is just using him. She turned the whole city against him. And that he basically, and she says it's just going to keep on going, and someone else is going to die because of it.
And he still ain't hearing it. So she pretty much says, you know what? I'm out of here. The whole Red Hood gang, we're no longer at your disposal. You do you. We're going to do us. Peace.
Yeah, and she uses her mallet on him, smacks him across the chest, sends him flying. And he basically says, as soon as she does that, she realizes that she broke her mallet.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see Batman. We follow Batman, and he basically goes to the cemetery. And as he goes to the cemetery, we then, right as he gets to the cemetery, and he kneels down in front of his father's gravestone. We flash back to Harley again, and he says, you don't think I get it? You don't want to listen, Bruce? Fine. You don't get to hear the end. And then we hear Harley um, talking to say, Harley, sweetheart, is it you? And that's when she says, Dad, thank God you're here. It's me. And who's at the door? But Jack Grimm. So Jack Grimm is actually the Joker, is Harley's father. Um, and as that happens, they start screaming and everything, and we then hear Jack Grimm, the Joker, say to the mom, give her time pudding. So it's the Joker who uses, again, in the absolute universe, up is down and everything like that. We see the Joker using the pudding um, moniker instead of Harley.
Yeah, it was creepy when he did that.
That was quick flashback to the the cemetery. Bruce has now dug up his father's casket. He does not want to open the casket, but he does, and inside is
Nothing.
nothing but a phone.
And it rings.
Mhm. And
Oh,
on the phone is the straw man.
the phone was in his pouch,
Oh,
his
that's right.
belt.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the straw
It
man
rang. It
calls
rang. It
him.
rang as soon as he had opened
Yeah,
the casket. And who's on there but the straw man, because he has to appear at
finally.
least once in his story that has his name on it.
Yeah, for
Um,
3 issues now.
right. And he basically says, "Hey, I've got someone else I want you to see, and we see a very emaciated Thomas Wayne chained to the wall, um,
Like, don't look at me,
crying.
Bruce. Don't look at
Right,
me.
right. And he basically just says, "Let him think I'm dead. You promised." And then the call ends. Bruce screams, "It's not true. It's not true." One of those, if it's true, it's not true. If it's not true, it's true type of a thing. And we see Harley has now walked off. She's left Bruce to be on her own. And so, big big splash ending is Thomas Wayne actually truly alive? Is the big twist in this issue.
No,
What if everything you thought
what
you
a
knew
great.
was, yeah? What if everything you thought was real was not real? Type of a thing. Which makes it even, that they were able to create Batman without even killing Thomas Wayne. Um, how crazy would that be?
I wonder if Martha's alive.
I don't know. We haven't seen her since that circle thing where they apparently all shot her. So
That pew pew.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, another great issue. We'll come back for the Strawman Part 5. Uh, the next issue. That brings us to Absolute Catwoman.
Absolute Catwoman.
Um, this also has a lot of 9 years ago,
Back
now,
and
nine
forth,
years ago,
man.
now, 9 years ago, now type
Yeah, it
thing.
starts 9 years ago in this one, at the top of
Right,
and it looks like at the top of a building apartment. And we're introduced to the Calicos 9 years ago, the little gang of cat burglars that Selena Kyle was a part of. And they're all just kind of talking and hanging out. And we come to find out that nothing really. Oh yeah, we don't really get nothing in the first few. We know you're second. Yeah, just kind of you get to see him in that first panel, but then we just jump
right,
straight to the now, where we see
right,
Selena kind of catching up, licking her wounds after that last issue. She
right.
does, she has some
She
sort of
has this orb.
concussion.
Right, she has this orb um, that she wants to actually um, auction off to
Yeah,
the
she
highest
she got
bidder.
she got mediced up from that fight with, what was it, Kane, Cassie?
Cassandra Cain.
Yeah,
Cassandra Cain.
Cassandra Kane, and then she went to a place called the Wandering Rose, which
Hmm.
is a mercenary, big shot criminal location where you can go and rub shoulders with the who's who. Because, like you said, she has that object that Holly brought her in that last issue. She doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know what it's for, and she doesn't know who's after it. So she's gone to the Wandering Rose, and she
Right,
plans on going there to put it out in the public eye and see who it might attract.
right. Wandering Rose is like the White Lotus for criminals.
I guess so. Dude, that show was so good, all three
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah. um, but we see her. It is. We see someone who immediately thinks that they might be interested. We don't see their face necessarily. Um, but then, guess what? It's 9 years ago again.
No, of course it is. And this is where we're just kind of getting the dynamic of our
Right.
three calicos and or four calicos, because you got Selena in there as well. And you see them
Mhm.
kind of getting ready to go on a heist, and they're using this to show us the different dynamics of the different characters there, how they all fall into their place based on their strongest personality traits. How one of them is a real rich girl who knows about the hotsy totsy stuff, but she just really hates where she came from, but she's fully capable. One of them is their little tech guru wizard, and you got Holly, who's your little wild card on there, and they're looking at going into a building to go score a heist, and they're working their way through there, and you got guards popping up, and
Mhm.
it's kind of showing you the nature of the team, the nature of how they work together, and how they're going in there not just to rob this big score, but just to take from the people who have it and not keep it for themselves, but just take it away from those people that have too much. We're too
Right.
good at people to need it, but you're too bad of someone to be allowed to have it.
Right.
They're
And so
truly
what they
pieces of
do
shit.
is they bring up a list of the most wealthy people, probably in Gotham: the Falcones, the Thorns, the Elliots, the Bertinellis, and the Crowns. Some of them have,
Thomas.
12-digit. What's that?
I said Thomas
Thomas,
Crown.
Thomas
The
Crown.
Thomas Crown affair.
Thomas Crown affair. Some of them have close to $1 trillion in their bank account, but by the time they're done, they've all been zeroed out. Their money has been transferred somewhere else. And then we go to Switzerland. Now,
Back to the wandering. I don't want to call it the White Lotus. Back to the wandering rose, but we're in a different location in Switzerland. We're look like we're in a glacier cave with Selena walking in there, and she's using her technology from her cat suit, which is cool. Her little AI computer onboard system inside of her cat helmet is called Jonesy, which is
mhm,
pretty cool. So she's going in there and she's setting up some stuff, setting some timers, some barrels. We don't really see the details of while she's doing it, but as she's walking out, she's telling Jonesy that she's going to need an outfit, and then we pop over into the auction house where you see Selena walking with her orb item, and she immediately is approached by somebody saying, "Hey, we have a seller. We have a buyer. Come with
right.
us, and we can finalize a thing." And she's surprised how she has a list of possible suspects who she thinks it might attract, but she's surprised how fast it happened. So she goes into the private room to finalize the exchange or figure out who it is that's after it. And shockingly, one of her old partners is there, Victoria Sage.
Vic Sage, what do you know?
Yeah,
Hmm. Right.
interesting.
So we have Victoria Sage who is there. And again, as they're having a discussion about, it's been years since we've seen each other. Um, we do some quick flashbacks as to what happened and how their time ended. Um, I told her she was chasing a fantasy. I turned her away. Again, that's when Harley says, I mean, when um, Selena says that, yeah, Harley brought it to me in a cake, basically. Um, and that's when Victoria says, "Yeah, and Harley came to me too, and I turned her away." Um, so that's how it ended up in your cake, type of a thing. And as soon as that happens, as they're talking, who comes flying through the window, trying to protect them? But Valerie Bert, not Helena
Helena
Bertinelli,
Bertinelli, the other Calico, the freaking
the,
huntress.
the huntress, exactly. I almost said Valerie Bertinelli. Remember from One Day at a
No,
Time?
she's cool too.
Yeah. Um, Helena,
So yeah,
so
we
we
get
have
into a
the.
big scuffle with the locals in here and big fight. And Selena reveals to them, like, "Yo, we're on a timer. Y'all might not know this, but the floor is going away from us because I set up bombs underneath this place to melt the ice, and it's all coming down." They catch up, like, I don't know what this is or who these people are after it, but we got to get them. And about that time, invisible ninjas come popping up out of their room, attacking and fighting them as well. And Selena turns off the little cloaking device on her outfit, and she is wearing her cat suit.
Mhm.
And about that time, Cassandra Kane pops back up, and they have to get into it again. A little squabble for the orb. Yeah, a lot of
Right.
squabbling, a lot of
Well,
action, a
that's
lot of fighting. It
exactly.
flashes back again to them in the high rise, evading the
Mhm,
guards, clearing the bank accounts, and talking about the dynamic of this team and
mhm.
how we were taught, like, if something happens, you leave that one person behind to take the fall so the rest can get away. And then you see how the fight with
Mhm.
Cassandra is going bad. They drop the orb. Cassandra gets it, and Selena can get away, but she looks back at her two friends, Helena and Victoria, and she decides to help them out instead of chase the prize. And they're shocked that she would do such a thing because we were always taught they were supposed to leave each other behind. And then you flash back again to that moment that leave the person behind in the sky rise, and they didn't leave themselves behind. Then they stayed and helped each other. So I don't know why they would be surprised. It looks like that's what they always do. They never followed their own rule of leaving a person behind. But
Mhm. Right. And then we flash to the three of them, kind of like an absolute birds of prey almost. Um,
Mhm.
with the three of them talking about how we're gonna we need to pull our resources again and and do what we used to do while Cassandra Kane has the orb, and it's found out that what the orb is kind of some sort of a time. It does timey wimey things.
It's a
Um,
synthetic intelligence so powerful it can create an unimpeachable reality. For a long time, hackers thought it was a legend, but it's clearly very real. And Holly gave you the missing piece. So Selena doesn't have to try to reestablish a life for herself. If she can get this technology, she can just recreate her life.
Correct. Ooh, and that's where the White Lotus ends. Um,
It's real if I say it's real.
there you go. There you go. Um,
Yeah,
so we're
interesting
doing,
issue. The cast of characters is fantastic. It's definitely turning into a Gotham City Sirens kind of title.
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Didn't like it as much as Absolute Batman, but it definitely was a good issue.
It was fun, good format to it. I like that it kind of built on the characters really, really well. It's not bad. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Yep. Um,
It's not something I would run tell someone, hey, you got to read this, but I don't
right,
regret
right,
reading it.
right,
Now, Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, like you got to read those. Absolute
right.
Wonder Woman, you got to read that. Absolute Trinity is on fire.
Yes, they really are. It just show. I mean, of all the titles, the three that they started first are their three strongest ones. I think.
Yeah, go figure. The Absolute Trinity is the most interesting title. I mean, there's the best characters. I mean, you can't get
Mhm.
around it.
Right. Yep. Um, but again, before you leave, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so alerted whenever we upload new content, and leave us a comment. Let us know how we are doing. But that's going to be it for this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive. Next week, I think we have Green Lantern and Superman. I think maybe next week.
Oh, we just had Green Lantern, didn't we?
We did. Yes, you're right. We just did have Green Lantern.
Next week we got Absolute Green Arrow. You were
Green
close.
Arrow.
And
Okay,
Flash.
I was not close at all.
Yeah, you were
Uh,
close with the green part though. You nailed
yeah,
that.
I had the color.
Yeah. I count for something.
I was strong on the color. That's it.
Yeah. Nailed it.
But that's going to be it. Again, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notification bell, comment. But that's going to be it as of right now. I am Paul. He is Mark.
We're Legion.
And you're now leaving Sector 2815.